What's up YouTube land, Xeno Gaming here, and welcome back to F1 2021 for the Spanish Grand Prix for the Pro Am Formula Racing League, the second league race of the season.
Only a few cars out on track, we should consider getting out there.
Thanks Jeff, and we finished the last race in 10th position, which was a disappointing result in the end. We could have finished a little bit higher. That's okay, we still scored 1 point, and coming into this race, however, would be liking to take away a few more points. So that's
When you're ready, let's go.
it's going to start with a good qualifying here, and I think I'm a bit more comfortable around the Spanish track than I am around Bahrain, but we'll have to find out. So here we go, first lap in qualifying as we come across the line and we do a 1 minute 16.2. That puts us in P3 for now, but you can see Eunice there at the top on a 15.3, 9/10 quicker, so got a lot of time to find compared to the top guys. Second run though, and we have improved the lap by 0.3 of a second to go to 1 minute 15.9, which currently has us in position 9. So not a bad first 2 laps, but here is the last and final run in qualifying. We're about a 10th up coming into the last sector. Gained a lot of time through 10, but you know, it's always fluctuating. We're currently sitting P9 here, but on the exit, unfortunately, of turn 12, we have spun, and we're about 0.3 up at that point, so that's a bit of a shame, and we qualify in 11th position, so unfortunate is what it is. And at this point I was thinking we get a free choice of tyre, but silly me, did not check the weather. But anyway, Eunice is on pole with my teammate Joey in second, with Elliot in third place for Alfa Romeo, and Calafas in fourth. And we've got Quinton in the Haas in P5 as well. So yeah, cool. We got Vengeance in sixth, cool guy, and then Williams, I think it's a reserve driver, Domi Lee, Charlie, and that is your top 10. But as I said, coming to the race, didn't even realise it was wet, and I was fiddling around here with something, and I don't change my fuel loads. So the fuel load was at +2 laps from the start of the race, which just was a disaster really, because now I'm just carrying all that extra weight. And yeah, I tried to change it at the last second, and I just didn't have time to. I ran out of time, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but you know, that's okay. We're going to launch here from the 11th in the grid. Intermediate conditions. It's going to be like this for the whole entire Grand Prix. So, not much to do in terms of strategy. Well, you can play a little bit, but we'll see how we go here from 11th in the grid for the round 2 of the Pro Am Formula Racing League. And starting at 11th on the grid.
The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
It's my first running in the wet as well, so this is going to be really interesting to see how I perform. But here we go, the lights come on for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix, and let's go here in Spain, and immediately up to 4th gear to try and get as much, you know, as much as possible in terms of the revs. And anyway, coming through turn 1, got a bit of a contact in the right rear here, and then coming through turn 2, just cut it a little bit and pick up a exceeded track limits warning, which is a little bit frustrating there. Now look at the understeer, we're getting through turn 3, so we've got Western and Iron Apple coming up our inside, and we're going to go braver on the brakes around the outside of Iron Apple and not quite Wheezy Western. So look at it's very tricky conditions, just got no idea where to brake, almost running into the back of Charlie there. But just going to be, yeah, very careful, easy on the brakes here. And we've slotted here into 12th position, so we've lost a spot off the start here. And yellow flags already, and now a virtual safety car already deployed in half a lap into the Grand Prix.
Watch your pace.
Which is just lets the race settle down a little bit. But we now go back to green flag racing here, and yeah, still just finding my feet in these conditions. So I think everyone is, to be honest. And yeah, I wasn't confident through turn 3 yet there, and Iron Apple is a lot more confident than myself, and he's going to go up the inside. This is Victor, and he looks like he's got the move done. You can see Dom has made a mistake. Charlie gets through, and so does Mitchell. And now a bit of contact there with Victor on the outside, but something happens to Dom there. He's got a bit of damage on his front wing, and Victor and I split him. Victor goes around the outside, then he goes really slow here, I'm not sure why, and I get on the curve to go past Victor here. That was a hairy moment, and we move now into 11th position, so we're back to where we started. And
Right, we think the car behind might start to have fuel management issues. Let's see if we can use this to our advantage.
so yeah, that was an interesting moment, but then coming through on lap 3 here, we run a little bit wide through turn 7 and 8, and we pick up our second track limits warning, so one more and we're going to cop 3 seconds. So we've got 30 laps to try and avoid the 3-second penalty here, as the Williams has a bit of a moment now. Mitchell is going to go around the outside here, and now up the inside for the last chicane. There's contact there, there's more contact there, he cuts the corner, and Mitchell's off the track, and we're going to take advantage and go up the inside at the last corner. So we move now up into 8th position, and Reese is going to come in the Mercedes here, and he's going to have a look. No, he's not got quite the overspeed, so he's going to remain in 10th position, and we're now going to follow the Williams here. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, that's why I'm just going to call him the Williams for today, and I believe he is just a reserve driver. So anyway, moving on, and we now have another virtual safety car.
Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
So a second, and now I think this has turned into a real safety car, sorry, not a virtual safety car, a real safety car. And the decision, I was going a little bit slower here. I was just thinking, should I pit, should I not? And then I decided I want to do a one-stop this race. This is an easy one-stop, I think. So this is way too early to pit for tyres. But the Williams driver here comes into the pit lane. He thinks about a new set of tyres. It's very early. You don't need to change to full wet. It's obviously not ready for dries. So Inters are the best tyre for the conditions. So that's a free position. I don't know if he had damage or not. But anyway, we're really restart here for lap 8, and I'm really trying to light up the rear tyres to get them nice and warm, because that's what's critical with these restarts, getting the tyre temperature nice and warm. And now we go, the pack was backing up, and now very gently, I wasn't sure how much throttle I could use through that last corner for the restart, and I was very cautious there and probably didn't get as good a jump.
Okay, the car behind is catching you by 5/10
as I could have. So that's fine though, as we just remain in 7th place, as the dog next door just keeps barking. Sorry about that. And we now behind Charlie and Vengeance here. So that's Jacob is Vengeance. Charlie dives into the pits for new tyres, and so does Quinton. So that promotes us to P5. So things are looking good. It's lap 12 now, and I'm thinking about making a pit stop soon, but not yet. But the decision gets made for us right here, coming as Nirral retires, and now a safety car is deployed.
Your speed, our delta is too low, and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
So I think everyone's going to dive into the pit lane. Jacob dives in.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah, straight in. And intermediate tyre obviously is what we will be going on to. And my tyres were like 30% wear. I can't exactly remember, but they weren't that harshly worn at this stage, so they could have easily gone another 10 laps if I really wanted to.
You'll be racing on the exit. Go, go, go.
But, you know, we have to make the change here, and better to do it under safety car.
One more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
But I also just know that the tyres can easily last 20 laps, so I'm taking these set of tyres to the end, because it's without the DRS, it's been obviously Spain notoriously one of the most difficult track to overtake. Track position has been very important today, and you know it's very difficult to make these overtakes happen. So anyway, here we go for the restart, and I've learnt from my first restart that I can be a little bit more aggressive on the throttle, I think, and also take a much better line through the chicane as well. That's going to help open up the corner. And Jacob did not get a great restart here. Now we're right underneath him in his slipstream.
Right now, just be careful.
Not sure what Jeff's talking about. We've just got back to a green red flag racing, so getting a really good tow here. And I just placed my car there at turn 1 to kind of scare him, and he avoids the apex, so that gives me the run through turn 2. He's tight to the corner in turn 2. I'm able to glide around the outside. That was a really nice overtake setup by just putting my car to the inside in turn 1, and he didn't turn in. If he had turned in, it would have been no problem because I wasn't alongside him, but he just decided not to turn in and gained position there. So moving to lap 17 here, and yeah, currently in 7th position, and
We've been awarded a time penalty.
a bit of understeer,
We'll go against
and
our
we
finishing time at the end of the race.
finally pick up that 3-second time penalty, which is a little bit of a shame, but we now got two warnings to play with if we really need them. So then there's a crash between Eunice and the Williams driver, the reserve driver. So Eunice, and that's caused another safety
Still
car.
happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment? Okay, slow down, slow down.
So
your delta is
that's
negative,
incredible.
which means you are too fast.
My teammate
Reduce your
Joey
pace.
pits for a new set of tyres, I guess. I stay out and I move into P4 with Elliot ahead. But now watch Dom here make a catastrophic error. He's now out of the Grand Prix. He thought the safety car coming out of the pit lane was a McLaren, and he was trying to race to beat it out, but unfortunately he's just driven straight into the back of me, and it's given me a 5-second time penalty. My PlayStation supposed to be out here for a second, but yeah.
Pods have taken damage. Keep an eye on your engine temperature. Cooling may be adversely
So
affected.
I got side pod damage from that, but to be honest I didn't think it really affected me. Here Elliot on the next lap decides to pit, but then he cuts across the final corner, so not sure what to think about that. But yeah, now just warming my tyres up. Other drivers pitted, and so Elliot and I are now first and second. I'm not going to pit. And now coming through turn 2 here, I'm just slowing down a little bit just so I can accelerate. And then Victor behind has run into the back of me, and it's given me another 5-second penalty. That's 10 seconds worth of penalties, and I don't know what he's so angry about. He just ran into the back of me. It's really frustrating that 2 drivers under safety car conditions just driven into the back of me, and it's given me 10 seconds worth of penalties. But I can get these removed, I believe, so they should be removed. Nothing I can really do about that. Yeah, I like to give myself space just to warm up the tyres, and you can see we're getting ready for the restart here, and Silderfort's got to make a decision when to go here. So he takes an interesting line through the chicane, and I start to floor it here thinking he's going to go, but he doesn't go, which is poor by me, and then he floors straight back past me. So now I've got a terrible restart here, and
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a
Victor-
safety car right now. Just be careful.
Victor's right in my slipstream, but he's picked up damage now, so I'm not worried about Victor going down my inside. He's picked up damage, and you can see we separate from him immediately through turn 1 and 2, and yeah, moving on to that, we can see how much Victor's held up the pack behind from the damage to his car. And now we get another safety car
Is
though.
available on the MFD.
This is a 3rd or 4th safety car in this race. So this is just real stop-start. It's really frustrating. You can't get a rhythm going. It's the same for everybody. But, here we go again for another restart. And, I'll try to time this a little bit better. But I think Elliot also times his restart a little bit better, because he goes now. He goes while we're in the middle of the corner. He gets a bit of a slide on in the last corner, but I'm not able to, he's got 0.6, half a second on me there. So I'm not going to be able to attack him into turn
We're
1.
going to box this lap. Push hard on the in-lap.
We're not boxing this lap, Jeff, but we now got Mitchell behind us in 3rd. We've got Felix in 4th, the winner from last time out in Bahrain, and Jacob in 5th position. So, with 9 laps to go, this is all the marbles, all the money's on the table, and we'll see what we can do here. As Felix now in 4th position sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so he's the quickest guy on track at the minute, and he's now made a move past Mitchell for 3rd place here. So we'll see how that all unfolds. And now we're going to defend behind Felix here. We've got a few laps here to go, and he gives us a little bit of a nudge there through the corner, and we don't, in the middle of the corner, it just unsettles the rear a little bit, and now he's right up behind my gearbox. I'm going straight to the inside. I don't want him to take a slipstream from me. But now I know he's got my slipstream, but I'm just using all my energy. I've got a lot of energy saved up. I was only using it on the main straight, really. Wasn't really using it around the rest of the track. And, Elliot's pulled out 2.5 seconds to me. But then I realised there's 4 laps to go. and I got to defend, and I got to be faster throughout the rest of the lap. You can see here, Felix is really putting the pressure on me, but he's not close enough to make a move in turn 4. So I started using my energy throughout the lap, and I had plenty of tyre life. That wasn't an issue for me. And I think Elliot actually just started maybe to run into tyre trouble himself, you know. We've also been on these tyres a lot, but we haven't done a lot of racing laps on it. As here we pick up our first track limits warning from... So now we've got 2 warnings until we get another 3-second tyre penalty. We're right behind Swordford though, so as I said, I think he's running into tyre trouble, and I've started using my energy throughout the course of the lap. You can see we're down to 60% here, and we're going to try and make a move on him here, but Felix behind is quicker than the both of us here, and he's got no penalties at this point, so he's already leading this Grand Prix on time. So I was trying to hold him off here. The goal was to try and pass Elliot and then hope I could pull a gap on him and win the race, but here he goes with the dummy down the inside, and it just threw me off. I saw him in the mirror, and I tried to cover it, and I went way too deep into the corner, and he outsmarted me there, did Felix. That was a nice overtake. He dummied me into 5 and then went to the outside and got me back on the under. Knew I would outbrake myself, and he straight away onto the back of Elliot, and he goes up and under on him through the final chicane and through the final corner and gets the job done. So yeah, Elliot is now down to 2nd and Felix in 1st. We can't beat Felix today, he's too quick for us, but now the job is to get back past Elliot here to try and we pick up another truck limit warning, which is not ideal. So we haven't got any more to play with. We can't afford another warning. We've got 3 seconds to play with. You can see Elliot's now got 6 seconds, so we're ahead of him on paper here. We've got Mitchell on 6 and Eunice on 6, who's now moved into P5. And you can see Elliot just struggling through the chicane again, and we're able to do the same as Felix did, go up and under on him. And now we've got position here, track position.
This is your final lap of the race.
And he's on the outside. We're going to go back to the racing line here for the braking zone. We're going to stay a little bit in the middle of the track, I guess. But yeah, we move into P2 here. But this is the last lap of the Grand Prix, and we've got to push hard here. I just want to get as much time between the guys behind us. You can see Elliot really struggling. He's dropped 2 seconds behind us on this lap alone. But I'm really pushing here on this last lap. As Felix wins his 2nd straight race, we're going to come across the line for a 2nd place finish. With the field so closely bunched and me having 13 seconds worth of time penalties, we're actually going to drop all the way down to 8th position here, which is unfortunate, but I do believe I can get those penalties removed. So it's a 2nd place finish on the road, and I'm really happy with that. Qualified P11, finished 2nd place. I think it's a fantastic result for us in, you know, the grand scheme of things, knowing that the pace for myself compared to the top guys in this league is really not there. So to take a podium, you know, early on in the season, it's fantastic. If the results do stand as they are, and we do only finish 8th position, then it'll be annoying because we won't get the points. But I'm still really happy with the drive to finish 2nd on the road. Gives us confidence for the next race, which I believe will be at the Canadian Grand Prix. We're running a bit of a different calendar, so yeah. Anyway, I'll have to suss that all out and maybe update that to you guys in the next video. But anyway, Felix wins the Grand Prix. Jacob finishes 2nd, Charlie 3rd, Joey, my teammate, in 4th. Elliot drops to P5 with his penalties. Eunice in 6th, Mitchell in 7th, and myself in position 8. So hopefully we can get rebounded back to 2nd place. But anyway, that's been today's race, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was a thoroughly enjoyable league race. A lot of interruptions though, a lot of safety cars, but you know, we made it through, we persevered, and we got the job done to finish in 2nd position. So leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, comment down below your feedback, and I'll see you all for the next video. Until then, goodbye.